So just now that we have that out of the way, we can talk about the fun stuff, the stuff that you guys typically tune in for. The commentary on our situation in America, the changing demographic, the spiritual erosion, the powers that be who encourage those destructive themes. I came across a story on Instagram of a account called NonLIbTake. And if you guys have been following me for the last year, I flagged this account last year. NonLIbTake. Her name is actually Arynn Wexler. And I flagged this account last year because it was given to me by the girl I was dating at the time. She was like, look at this account. She's so based, you know, she always has these anti-feminist takes and she makes fun of liberals and she's a big Trump fan. This is really good. This is what other women need to see. You know, we're going to fight back against feminism and we're going to fight back against liberalism. And now that other women are getting out there more comfortable talking about these subjects, this is a good thing for us. And, you know, this is obviously the perspective of the girl I was dating at the time. And I was watching the content and scrolling through NonLIbTake's feed, both on Twitter and on Instagram. And because I have a sixth sense for these kinds of things after years in the game, you notice a pattern. Yeah, they're talking about how bad feminism is, and yep, they're making fun of liberals and them wanting to cut kids' genitals off and doing LGBT parades and DEI, you know, all the standard curriculum that you would expect from a conservative influencer. But on a weekly basis, if not more often, they're also reminding us about our greatest ally. And there it is. There it is. Another skin-suited conservative who wants to show up and shapeshift like they're part of the America First movement, and they'll even use that language. We're America First. We want to close these borders. We want to get rid of wokeism, get rid of feminism. America First. And our greatest ally is actually more important than America, though. So it's kind of a little bit of poison with the sugar that they give you. They give you the sugar to make you think, oh, she's attractive. She seems intelligent. She's trying to connect to other women who we need to be on the same page politically. That's all the sugar. And then they hit you with the COVID cocktail of, and we need unlimited funding to Israel. We need to be able to genocide the Palestinian people, take over the West Bank, take over Gaza, and finance and diplomatically support, technologically support, provide intelligence for the greater Israel agenda, which is annexing territory in Egypt, Jordan, several other countries in the Middle East to expand Israel's nation. This is something that's been planned openly by the Israeli government. They talk about it on a regular basis for decades. And so you go through her feed, and sure enough, she's always talking about how important Israel is to America and how evil Hamas and the Palestinians are, and that there's just no way to live alongside each other. They have to be eradicated or put elsewhere, let them be somebody else's problem. It's not that Israel is the Palestinians' problem. It's that the Palestinians are Israel's problem. So Arynn Wexler, and I'm like, okay, so you obviously have never once criticized Jews in your entire life. By the way, you can dig into the articles that she wrote in the past and find out that this totally based trad conservative woman has a problem with Christmas and sees the celebration of Christmas as, in some ways, anti-Semitic. She's triggered by the Christmas tree and what it represents. The entire holiday and how important it is to Western civilization, that doesn't actually sit well with her because she's not a Christian. Is that America First? I thought America First was founded on Christian principles by Christian people for Christians. Arynn Wexler doesn't feel the same way. And you can go and find these things. In fact, you can just go straight to her website. I have it right in front of me. There you go. She seems kind of cute, right? And she's got all the right conservative takes. You go to the portion on her website that says, what are her features? You know, different media outlets who have featured her content, invited her to provide commentary on politics. And this whole I exposed her last year as being a subversive Jewish operative. I only am bringing it up again because guess who is now a commentator on Fox News? Oh boy, Arynn Wexler. But you go to her website and she's bragging about all of these major publications who have platformed her commentary. Let's just go through the list that she's so proud of being featured on. Ben Shapiro. What do we need to say about Ben Shapiro, who doesn't give a damn about the browning of America and who thinks that Jesus Christ was a blasphemer, liar, idolater, necromancer, and rightfully deserved to be murdered by the Jews and is rightfully currently burning in hell? That's what Ben Shapiro believes. Okay, well, next up you have D.C. Drano, also Jewish. Next up you have Dave Rubin, the homosexual Jewish man. Who's on the list over here? Oh, you have Blaze TV and The Blaze. And obviously that's Glenn Beck's news outlet. Glenn Beck, who is on the record of saying that he is basically an honorary Jew, that it is the single most fulfilling thing in his life to advocate for Israel. That's the single most important priority in his life, is the nation of Israel. And this is his words. He's an American on an American conservative news platform, making money off of Americans, alleging to be someone who is trying to preserve and conserve American values, but his single highest calling in life is the nation of Israel. He's not Jewish himself, but he is what we would call a Christian Zionist. Where else has Arynn Wexler been featured? Tablet Magazine. Oh, okay. Well, let's go to the Wikipedia for Tablet Magazine. Tablet was founded in June 2009 by Alana Newhouse, former culture editor at The Ford, with support of the Next Book Foundation as a redeveloped and news-focused version of the Jewish literary journal Next Book. And so this woman showed up on the scene last year and immediately blew up. She's suddenly on Daily Wire. She's suddenly being cited by DC Drano, who has a huge Twitter following. Dave Rubin is platforming her. The Blaze, Glenn Beck are platforming her. She's in Tablet Magazine. And now she's on Fox News. And so what you're supposed to believe is that when an account like this blows up, or when an individual like this blows up, it's because their takes, her NonLIbTake, is just so on the money. And it obviously helps that she's, moderately attractive. The combination of those two things, she's got good takes, she's attractive, that's why she blew up. No. How it works is you get the golden ticket to fame and influence and followers and money if you have that trait of being physically attractive and articulate, holding conservative views that most Christians would agree with, but you also have that add-on of being pro-Israel, because it's not even an add-on. It's actually what everything else is a precondition for. I should say the Israel support is a precondition for them caring about the fact that you're attractive, that you're articulate, that your views are 80% in line with American conservatism. Because the reason I say that is being a pro-Israel supporter is the precondition. If you don't pass that gate, none of the rest matters. If you are not in support of Israel and you are an outspoken critic of Israel, if you're an outspoken critic of Judaism and what the Talmud says, if you're an outspoken critic of Jewish culture, Jewish influence in America, all of our civil institutions being negatively influenced and manipulated by international Jewry, our economy through the Federal Reserve and the usurious central bank fractional reserve system, the education system being hijacked by Jewish presidents of all of the Ivy League schools. At one point, it was 6 out of 8 of them being run by Jewish or Zionist supporters. The media, this is one that everybody knows. You look at all of the film studios, the production studios, the recording studios, the talent agencies, the entire megalith that is mega monolith of Hollywood, the entertainment industry being dominated by Jews, that is fully captured as well. And then obvious, perhaps most obvious of all, is the government being infiltrated by Jewish influence publicly, with the likes of AIPAC, the American Israel Political Action Committee, financially blackmailing, reputationally blackmailing our entire Congress. And this isn't just at the federal level, it's at the state level elections as well. I have entire documentaries about that. You can check out Massey the Martyr if you want to look at how the Jewish people have hijacked all of these different civil institutions, especially the government. But the precondition for becoming a successful conservative influencer is exactly one criteria: be pro-Israel. That is a do not pass go requirement. You don't get on Fox News if you have a history of criticizing Jewish people, the Jewish religion, the nation of Israel. It's do not pass go, do not collect $200. Glenn Beck is not going to invite you on Blaze TV so that you can talk about your problems with Judaism or your problems with the Epstein Mossad child sex trafficking ring that has undermined our entire Western civilization. It's not just America. And that's just one Israeli spy ring. You have the Zoomcopter spy ring. You have the art student spy ring. You have Jonathan Pollard. You have the false flags, USS Liberty. You have them dragging us into World War I, World War II. If you actually have a historical knowledge of all of these Israel and Jewish related influences in America, then Ben Shapiro is not going to have you on the Daily Wire. DC Drano is going to call you an anti-Semite. So will Dave Rubin. So will Tablet Magazine. So will the Anti-Defamation League and the Southern Poverty Law Center. And so this individual is not an organic phenomenon. Her blowing up, becoming famous, suddenly getting on Fox News after covering politics for all of a year in terms of the public knowledge of her even existing. It's not organic. It's not because she's good looking. It's not because she has based non-lib takes. It's because she's Jewish, and it's because she advocates for Jewish causes. Like, it's literally that simple. So do not be fooled. She's a Jezebel.
Beholden to truth. Christ culture. White identity.